Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach. We know that helping your clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves isn't just about telling them what to eat or coming to your gym for a few hours a week. We as gym owners and coaches have to focus on a holistic approach, looking at stress, support systems, sleep, mindset, lifestyle, nutrition, and of course, exercise to help our clients become the best and healthiest versions of themselves. My name is Nicole Coyne. I'm the founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of the Basics of Nutrition Coaching CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. You can click the link in the show notes to find out more details about that course and some of the awesome things that we offer at HSN Mentoring. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to build a successful, habit-based, holistic coaching program without reinventing the wheel and taking one step at a time. Today's podcast guest is Kayla. She is a mentor for HSN Mentoring. She also is a registered dietitian and a gym owner. She is the triple threat. She has so much experience understanding how to implement a habit-based coaching program personally and in her business growing a team, which is why we brought her on our team, and she heads up coach development. In today's podcast, we are talking all about social media. According to recent research study, it looked at how much time people spend on social media. In 2019 and 2020, the average person spent about 145 minutes per day on social media. That's over 2 hours of time, almost 3 hours. If you think about how to leverage social media, and what we teach at HSN Mentoring is not about paid advertising. I'm not asking you to spend money on ads and not sure about the return on investment. I am talking about using social media to build a following, build awareness, and establish your authority. Today's podcast, we talk about some of the statistics, some of the changes that are happening with social media, algorithms, and most importantly, some tips that you can implement today to start increasing traction with your social media accounts and really building awareness and supporting your clients so that they understand how you can help them with a habit-based coaching program. I really hope you enjoy this episode, and make sure you tune in to the end because I have a special announcement. Enjoy. Kayla, I'm so excited to have you back on the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, as always, thank you so much for having me.
Today, we are going to talk about social media, which I think is such a hot topic. I know we've been talking a lot about it in the mentoring group, and there's a clear difference between the people that leverage social media and the people that don't, with how quickly they grow their programs. Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about why someone listening to this podcast should care about investing some time into social media.
Yeah, there are so many reasons. First and foremost, it's fun, but we'll get to that point. But Nicole, I don't know if you know this, but over 56% of the world's population as of 2022 is on social media.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So with keeping that in mind, it is such a low barrier when it comes to cost and time to really get our business mission out there, reach a broader audience, and find those potential members to bring them in. So there's just so many reasons why we as small businesses should be utilizing social media.
I think it's interesting to me when I think about businesses using social media versus independent nutrition coaches or just nutrition coaches leveraging social media and crossing the paths for both of those things, right? Like I know you and I both are super similar. We'll share stuff on our personal and then we'll share it to the business and kind of go back and forth. And I think that's so important. People buy from people. And when you can connect your personality to, why you're so passionate about nutrition and how someone can get started with you instead of just posting infographics, you're going to slowly build trust with people. And
yes.
I think so many times, one of the things that we do at HSN Mentoring is we give people graphics to use, right? Those infographics. And, you can look at analytics on social media and see like, okay, what are the best things that you post? What causes the most amount of engagement or the most clicks to your website? And that's a cool thing to look at. I'll actually make a tutorial video on how to do it and put it in the link in the show notes. But the point is you can see like what is getting more traction and why not do more of that. And I can guarantee you it's stuff with people's face on it.
Mm-hmm.
Why should people not just post while the graphics are great and I think they're a good thing to post, why should people post more things that show their personality than just the infographics that we give?
Yeah, I love when you said that people buy from people. And we'll probably say that a few more times because it's so important. But when we can allow our audience, right, to hear our message, hear our voice, see our face, see the things that we get excited about and that we're passionate about, it allows them to really build that relationship before they even walk through our doors. And I don't think there is another way outside of social media that I can think of that you really have that opportunity. And I used to talk about this all the time with, people within my gym for business, but I'm like, man, I'm spending so much time on social media and I'm maybe not getting all the engagement until we'll have somebody come in for the free intro. And we always ask this question: how did you hear about us? How'd you find us? What brought you in? And every once in a while every once in a while, probably like once a month, someone says, I follow you guys on social media and I've been loving this girl who's posting about her nutrition and she's dancing and smiling, making jokes, and it makes it all worth it. But at that moment, I'm realizing just how valuable it is for me to put myself out there because I'm creating relationships with people I haven't even met yet.
I think you're 100% right. And I think when people can come in, they say, I feel like I already know you from the videos that you're posting, or even taking that video that you post and putting it into an email sequence so that people can see it. Because there's only a small percentage of people that are actually going to see everything on your social media. And when you engage with people on your social media, so like if you comment on one of our pictures and I from the business comment back to you and we're engaging back and forth, the algorithm's going to say, hey, show Kayla more of the healthy steps nutrition stuff because that's going to make Kayla stay on social media longer, right? And like that's the whole goal of social media. They want you to stay on it. And I can definitely go down the rabbit hole where it's been way too long. I'm like, okay, get off of this stupid thing. But the point is we want to engage with people, but then we can also repurpose that content and put it into other places to make the most out of the time that we are spending. Because you're right, it does take time, especially if we talk about reels, which I know we will get into, but people, you are much faster at making a reel than I am at making a reel. And it's because you practice, you do it often, and you slowly get a little better each time.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reels, I can't wait to dive into that because I have just so much fun and something that, keeps me going because at times the social media and creating the content can feel like work, but I'm always a big fan of making it enjoyable. Another thing that you had said you spend like hours. Sometimes we get into that hole of social media, just constantly scrolling. And over the last few years, we've all noticed there's a lot more on social media. One of the things you can do is directly shop on your social media. And I have to say, my content is curated for all the things that I want to buy. I am the market when I look at all the things I'm scrolling through. And so another big reason that we want to use social media is because a majority of the social media users, and remember that's over 56% of the world's population, is utilizing it to do research on their products and services that they may be interested in. So if you're scrolling through my social media, Nicole, and you see, another, reel where she's dancing and talking about caffeine consumption and how that can really disrupt our hunger and fullness cues, as well as our sleep and some other things, you're like, wow, I do drink a lot of caffeine. Let me look into that a little bit more. And then all of a sudden you get sucked into more and more of my content. And you'll notice, okay, now she's got some information on what she's doing and how she can help me. And it's just this rabbit hole that they get into, but it starts there. The relationship, the research, everything, or a lot of the things are starting on our social media.
It's interesting. One of our members at our gym just had a baby recently, and she's doing some research on the baby and like weaning and like trying new foods and how to like slowly integrate new foods. And she's like, yeah, I just found all these people on social media that I'm following and that's how I'm getting my information. I'm like, man, and you think about it from a diet and exercise perspective, there are so many overnight experts that call themselves nutrition coaches, call themselves nutritionists, and it's because they have a six-pack and they're the loudest on social media, posting the most amount of content. When you as a nutrition coach or a licensed dietitian, you might actually probably have better information than them, but if you're not saying it, people are going to go to the loudest person in the room. Mm-hmm. And if you're not talking, if you're not putting out quality content, people are not going to know that you can help them. And someone else is going to be posting that stuff and will help them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'm sure we're going to dive into all of that, but we do want to share, how we can solve people's problems, right? What we can help them with. We want to show them that it works. And we also want to make it as easy as possible for them to take the first step.
Yeah, I think that's super important. I know that you did some research. We were in our Facebook group a few months ago talking about this. And, in 2021, there was a poll and the social media marketers said that 85% of them said that short form videos were the most effective way to grow social media in 2021. So the overwhelming majority of people are saying, hey, we need to make short form videos. So, whether that is a reel or just a short video that's engaging. We had Clark Campbell from Reverb come on a few weeks ago talking about the impact of sharing stories. And he is all about the video. He started a company that helps people share stories and make videos. They do all of our media, but we talk all the time about reels and short videos that are super engaging and some stuff that's like just funny and engaging. Like people want things that are funny, that are going to lighten their mood, lighten their day. Not just all of the information. Yes, information is important to share, but you want it to be a good balance.
Yeah. And I think, having that balance, you can have some really great conversations. One of my reels that I did early on, Nicole, over 33,000 views on it. Over 200 likes, comments, and more than that. But I got followers, and then I got people going into my DMs and asking me more about that. And it was on, if I'm remembering correctly, fad diets. And we all get sucked into it because of those social media influencers that are super loud about the things that worked for them, but may not work for us. They had questions, and it was, again, just a way for me to get my foot into the door and then start building the relationship, the trust, sharing what I do, and then starting to figure out how to get them started. So yes, short form videos, reels, big fan. I actually found that videos are just more engaging, as you said, when we compare it to just regular still images, such as the ones, that we provide at HSN. They're great content, but we know that videos will get 21% more engagement. Another kind of graphic that we'll talk about are those carousel posts, the swipe right to learn more. We know that videos are even more engaging by like 19% when we use videos. And when I found this, I was like, okay, well, why? Why are, videos getting so much attention? And it comes down to our attention span. I don't know if you know this, but this year they found our average attention span is about 8 seconds.
I believe that.
A goldfish has a longer attention span, I'm pretty sure, which is wild. But it's because we have so many stimulus, especially as we're consistently and constantly just scrolling through social media. So I think those videos, when we can definitely show our face and make it enjoyable, right? Have that right balance, it's easier to grab their attention quickly. And if it's the right content for them, we'll hold on to their attention.
We have a template for videos and video scripts. So HSN provides video scripts for gym owners and coaches every single month to use. And there's a year's worth of video scripts to post one per week when you sign up for HSN mentoring. But there's a template that we do, and there's a hook that happens. And then it's introducing yourself. Hey, I'm Nicole, the nutrition coach and owner at Healthy Steps Nutrition. Today, we're going to talk about 3 tips for blah. And it's the same type of thing to get someone's attention in those first 2 seconds of like, oh yeah, I care about that. I do. Do you struggle with picky eaters at home? Awesome. I want to help you. Hey, my name's Nicole. I am the registered dietitian at Healthy Steps Nutrition. So if someone doesn't struggle with picky eaters, instead of rambling forever and then finally getting to your point, now you've lost them. But if they do struggle with picky eaters, then at home, then great. Now you've got their attention. You're going to be able to give them some tips and slowly build that relationship. So, making sure that you have a structured way to make videos. I know that there's a few nutrition coaches using the program that will take our video scripts and make them into reels, which is a fun thing. Give me the high level overview of reels for those people who don't really know what they are.
Yeah, basically, reels are there's a few different ways to do this, but reels, first and foremost, are a way to really expand the amount of people that you reach with your content, right? A broader audience. And the reason is because we've got that new reels feature on Instagram where when someone goes into that, they can keep constantly scrolling. And as they scroll, that content is curated for them, what they're interested in. The reels can be you speaking, dancing, lip syncing, and then you get the pop-ups of the words to share the content. And of course, you can write the copy in the comments below. So a lot of really great ways to add information, and it's engaging. I get sucked into those all the time. They're so fun.
So they used to only be 15 seconds, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think you can do 30 seconds now, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So 30 seconds, super short. Again, the goal would be, get your face out there, make it funny, make it engaging, provide a little bit of content. You can always put more stuff in the comments and tell people, hey, read the comments for more info. But you could use the HSN video scripts and make a reel for sure.
Definitely. I think I saw there's been actually many gyms. I love following all the HSN gyms, but I've seen a lot this month. We had posted with the Open coming up 4 tips to fuel for the Open. And I have seen at least 3 different people in the last week use that content as a reel. And so then it'll be a quick, short part of, tip 1, and then it cuts into tip 2. And it's just fun to see them having fun with the content, but repurpose the content in as many ways as possible.
I'm also thinking Whole Strength just added another coach, and Megan introduced the new nutrition coach in a reel on social media, which is another fun way. So we've got reels, short videos. If you're going to invest the time into doing a video, like using the video scripts or making your own video, I want to give you a couple tips. One is use the template that I talked about a minute ago with have a hook, introduce yourself, then keep it to 2 to 3 tips instead of just rambling forever. I think a lot of times when we get nervous or, if we're not used to doing videos, we can end up just rambling on for a really long time and then not actually giving people something simple to walk away with. And they instead leave very confused after the video. I remember watching a video of someone in training that had completed the kids course, and it was like a 5-minute long video. I'm like, man, that is way too long. We need 1 minute, short and simple, to the point, give people simple, actionable steps. There's different teleprompter apps that if you need that, that's fine. But my biggest suggestion with making video content is smile. Look at the camera, smile. It's going to get better. We were all nervous doing our first one, but I promise it gets better. What would you say for tips for people who are new to reels or new to video content?
Don't expect perfection out of yourself. I remember I could spend hours on a 30-second video because I wanted it to be just right. But remember, people buy from people. There is no need to be this perfect person on your social media. Be unique, be you.
I love that. And always relate it back to the client, right? So if you're sharing a story of hey, I remember doing and you can even do this in your story, not just in your feed. I made a video about the vision board brunch we were having a few months ago. And I'm like, hey, if you're like me, sometimes you get sucked into all these busy things and you don't really think about what success looks like to you. I made this awesome vision board planning worksheet to help you plan what success looks like for you. All you need to do is click the link in the bio or click the link below, because you can link things in your story now, and download this free PDF. So now I'm capturing people's information. So it goes from just someone following you where you don't know who they are to now you have their email and you can put them into a funnel to learn more about you in a targeted way and potentially book a free intro.
I love that. And holy wow, so many great tips in that one sentence there. We'll dive into each of them. But the one thing is, I love that you said, always relate it back to them. Oftentimes when I get to talk with coaches and I'm trying to encourage them to start creating content, the number one barrier I probably hear is, well, I don't know what to talk about. And so I share what really inspires me is seeing other people make content, right? That's inspiring. Talking about the things that I personally struggle with. I know I struggle with drinking too much coffee and not enough water. And I definitely have posts on my social media about that. And I also keep a running list of the questions or the struggles that I help my clients navigate. Because if they're struggling with it or they're questioning it, other people have that same question or struggle.
I think that's a really good point. I remember when I first started, I would have a note section in my phone and it'd be like common questions. And when I was creating content, then I would just go back to that and answer those questions. So I love that. For those of you guys who are using HSN mentoring, you don't even have to do that. Like literally just go to the platform, pull up any random month, and then you have 4 video scripts right there for you. All right. So I think we've nailed down the reel and video stuff. I do want to give one more suggestion. Because only a small percentage of people actually will see your stuff on your feed, sharing it to your story would be helpful if you're posting a video to your feed, and then also having your coaches share it to their stories. I think about CrossFit Generation. They do such a good job with the coaches sharing the content. So it's not just Barry sharing it on the business page, but it's all of the coaches are sharing it on their personal page too. And to take that a step further is if you have if you use SugarWOD or Beyond the Whiteboard and you can link something in the announcements, upload that video to YouTube and then put the link to that video in your SugarWOD announcement so people can click it and watch it. And now everyone that logs into your WOD tracking sees it. And I remember telling a gym about this a few months ago and they're like, Nicole, but we don't use that. We're old school. We just write everything on a whiteboard. I'm like, okay. Well, do you do a blog? And they're like, yeah, we post our workouts on a blog every day. And I said, okay, well, what if you put that video like Wellness Wednesdays, you put the YouTube link or embed that video on the blog for Wellness Wednesday. And now everyone that goes to your website is going to see nutrition information and your nutrition coach and establish you guys as the expert. And so that's what they started doing. And guess what? They've grown their nutrition coaching program because people are consistently seeing nutrition information coming from them.
I love that cross-posting idea. Again, repurposing and sharing your content in as many different places as possible is always key because like you said, not everybody's going to just see your social media. So where else can we put this? Another thing, CrossFit Generation, yes, they have a whole team of nutrition coaches over there. And I love that they do take the time to share the CrossFit Generation content on their personal page because what they're doing now is expanding that audience. So now if it's BJ and she's posting on her social media, all of her friends, her family, the people that she connects with, that audience is now seeing this content, even if they don't follow the gym's page. And that can be super powerful when it comes to getting new clients in.
I think that's such an important aspect to touch really quick. And then I want to dive into some important tips and we'll wrap this thing up. But even at Healthy Steps Nutrition, more nutrition clients come to us through direct messages from myself or through Jason, my husband, or one of our nutrition coaches than people messaging our business. So if you're not sharing stuff on your personal page, like you're missing out because that's where people already know and trust you in that space. And they know to come to you because they already trust you if you're consistently posting stuff to help them. So let's talk about some tips when it comes to social media and increasing your presence and confidence. What's your first tip?
Hopefully people are going to know this is coming, but leverage the videos, stories, reels. They're super engaging.
Awesome. So people, if they don't know or they're looking for ideas, just follow Kayla. We'll put your personal link on the podcast blog episode connected to this. We'll put my personal one, the business one, and a few others that we think that are really good so you can get some different ideas. So leveraging some stories and reels, I love that. And use that sticker link. I think that's super helpful to guide people to where you want them to go. Because what happens, you mentioned it earlier, we have the attention span of 8 seconds. If you tell someone to click the link in your bio to go find a link to then go to your website or just go to your website without giving them a link, they're not going to ever get there. So if I want someone to register for a webinar, let's say, I'm going to say, hey, click the link below and register for that webinar. So people don't have to take multiple steps. Like they're not going to do those multiple steps. So if you make it easy for them, they're more likely to do it. All right.
Absolutely.
Tip number 2.
Ooh, make it engaging. Has to be.
So talk to me about what are some things and different things that you can do to make it engaging.
I think we need to post in our stories. And one thing that you've done really well, something that I've been trying to do really well, is they have those stickers that you can add, one of which is adding a poll or adding a question, things like that. It is such an easy way to get people, as they're going through your story, to stop, vote on a poll, ask a question, answer a question. What's your veggie that you're eating tonight? Those kinds of things. And you are creating engaging content. They are engaging with you in whatever conversation you're facilitating at that point.
From an analytics standpoint, that's even more helpful because that means if people are engaging with you, if they're answering your polls, answering questions, you're more likely going to pop up the next time that they get to social media. So the more engaging stuff you do, the more you engage with your clients, the more likely they're going to see your content in the future.
Yes. And huge point to the next thing is you should be responding. If somebody comments on a post of yours, take the time to respond. It means a lot to people. It builds that connection, builds that relationship, and it will start then getting more views on that piece of content that you're commenting on.
I love that. All right. I want to talk about some of the simple basics when it comes to social media. So I do the marketing call. That's my personal call during the training process. And what I see so much is the oldest gym in XYZ city, the best gym in XYZ city. And that's all it says. And there's no link to a website, or maybe there's a link to a link to go buy a shirt or a competition that's over. There are so many times when I click someone's link and the link is expired. So, and I think that's common. Like we change the link and then we forget about it and we don't update it. So I'm going to challenge all of the listeners to go to your business and personal social media page, read the bio that you have underneath the thing. Some people don't even have a bio, right? And what happens is you're missing some prime real estate with what you could be saying about your business and how you can help someone.
Yeah. Remember, people are using social media to research products and services that they may be interested in. So if I'm scrolling through, I see one of your reels that I really like, and then I'm so prompted or so engaged that I click on your link to visit your profile. If I can't see quickly what it is that you do or what problem you can help me solve, then odds are you've already lost my attention and I'm back to scrolling.
Exactly. So, so many times I'm like, okay, Jim, do you offer personal training? No? Okay, let's skip that. Do you offer kids classes? Yep. Okay, great. Let's put kids classes on there. Do you offer group classes? Yep. Okay, great. You now offer nutrition, coaching, and accountability. Let's put that on there. Like make it so simple so that people know exactly what you do. I was talking to a gym recently and I'm like, yeah, and add some emojis. Those are fun. And they just looked at me like, well, they are a little bit more engaging. They're a little bit more fun than just the standard text. And you can also change the text on Instagram so that your text even stands out.
Oh, that's like my new favorite thing to do. I just, I'll do a quick Google Instagram font generator.
Yep.
And you can type in whatever you want and it gives you a whole list, like scroll through so many different options. And when I see other people doing that, I always like my eyes automatically get drawn to it. It's engaging. It's something I want to look at. It's interesting and it sucks me in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love it. And we always, even in the content that we push out for HS Ed mentoring, like I'm starting to do that with the copy for the social media posts. And the cool thing is when you copy it from like the Canva template that we give to your personal Instagram or your business Instagram, it keeps the weird font. So it continues to stand out. You don't have to go to the Instagram font finder thing that you were just talking about. You can just literally copy and paste it from our template.
And I love the one that you guys choose, that bold, almost italics one. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite.
Yep. There's some weird ones on there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that a lot of businesses are doing, but a lot of gyms don't know about it still, or even people that just aren't super tech savvy with social media, is the link tree. So real quick, what's a link tree and why would someone want to use it?
Yeah, a link tree is a link that's going to go in your bio. And when I click on that, it gives me a list of the things I can click on. And it allows you to provide a call to action, or in other words, allows you to tell what you want your audience to do.
I think so many times we are like advertising for a pull-up clinic or a nutrition challenge or whatever the case may be, or book a free intro, and we only have our website link in our social media bio. And what the problem with that is then you're relying on people to go find a specific link, and they're not going to do that because we have attention span for 8 seconds. So by having a link tree, you can have clear calls to action, and you don't have to change it every single time you make a different feed post.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always think Amazon, they're good at what they do, but they have that 2 clicks to buy, and that's exactly what we want to try to replicate. So any pieces of my content, I always leave them with a call to action. What do I want my audience to do? I want them to sign up for nutrition coaching. So, hey, click the link in the bio, sign up for nutrition coaching. And what you're going to see there is one of the links that you can click on is sign up for nutrition coaching. And it's right on the top of the list. So I make it as easy as possible.
I love that. I think that's perfect. I think at the end of the day, we always talk about, with client results, with any type of results, we want Amazon instant results, right? We want the package to be delivered today, but in reality, it's not going to happen overnight. We talk about consistency with nutrition coaching, and we talk about consistency with social media to build awareness that you offer nutrition and you are the nutrition expert. What are some tips to help someone be consistent?
I think everybody should have a content calendar.
I think that's what do you mean by content calendar?
Yeah. So I want coaches, gym owners, I want them to sit down and look at their week and decide what is something they consistently do every single week. A good example might be every Monday. If you follow my gym, you'll see a Monday reminder, and it's really that Monday motivation. Tuesday and Wednesday, we have a theme. Thursday, this or that Thursday, food for thought Friday. And so each of my days will have a theme, and that helps me stay consistent because I know what I'm going to be posting. But whatever you decide to do, it needs to be realistic for you. If posting once a day is not realistic, don't start that way. Maybe pick 3 days a week and then build from there.
I love it. Using a social media calendar. I know you use the one natively in Facebook, or at least you did for a while. I use Later and absolutely love it. But scheduling your stuff to go out makes life so much easier so that you're not doing it in the moment.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. That would be a huge piece of my success is I schedule it out. I probably have at any given time a month at minimum. I aim for 2 months ahead every single month.
Ooh, those are some goals that I have for sure. Another thing that you can do and pretty simply with Canva is creating some templates, right? So one of the things that we talk about with branding is using your colors all of the time. You guys do such a good job at Radiant with that, but using your colors, using the same font, using the same type of post so that people can see it and in an instant recognize it's your brand. It has your logo on it. It's not like different colors and different fonts and all this stuff every single week. It's very similar every single day.
Yeah. Not only does that help them create this brand recognition, but it also helps me stay consistent because I don't have to think of something new every time I go in. I can literally copy the template. I use Canva. It is definitely one of those tools you want to have in your toolbox. And I just copy, change up some of the wordings or the information on there. And it's really easy for me to keep that content consistent.
I love it. I think at the end of the day, your confidence with social media is only going to increase if you do it consistently. And using these tips, trying out some short story videos, or even like testing out some reels would be a great start to just help gain some consistency. I can tell you from personal experience that video content does reach more people and it helps build that relationship faster because people feel like they know you. Mm-hmm. Kayla, any final thoughts as we wrap up today's podcast?
I would say just don't try to recreate the wheel. Use the templates that you have. If you see a reel that you really like, how can you recreate that but put your information in? And at the end of the day, have fun.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kayla.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I hope you enjoyed that episode with Kayla. Social media could be such a powerful tool. We talked about over 50% of the population is on social media. The average person spends almost 3 hours a day on social media. I'm sure if you are like me, you've caught yourself with your phone and a notification comes up and then you mindlessly are scrolling. Before you know it, it's been way too long. Social media knows what we like. They know what we're interested in. The algorithms tell them based on what we interact with. You'll notice if you're interacting with a lot of nutrition stuff, you're going to see more nutrition things pop up, especially in Reels. This is why it's important to be consistent with social media. You can't just post once every month and expect people to understand how you can help them. You have to show up consistently. One of the big things that people use social media for is selling, and I don't see it like that. I really think that it is your place to establish expertise, give out some free help, and make sure that you have a call to action at the end for people to go to the link in your bio and get a download from you so you can capture their information. Think of social media as top of funnel, just gaining traction, gaining awareness, letting people understand how you can help them by providing free tips consistently. From there, you're going to then go into having a place for them to enter in their information to get something more from you. Maybe it's a recent recording. Many of the gyms that are using HSN mentoring use one of the things that we give every single month, nutrition talks. Think of virtual nutrition seminars to capture new leads. Where are those leads coming from? Many of them come from their personal social media accounts. Friends, family members, coworkers, acquaintances that follow them on social media want to join a virtual nutrition seminar or a recording of it, and it becomes an evergreen funnel. So remember, you don't want to use social media just to sell things, provide free help, but then make sure that you always have a call to action. Have someone download free help, DM you, or reach out if they have any questions so that you can build that relationship, especially if your packages and programs are higher ticket options. Many of the HSN gyms are charging $199, $299 per month just for nutrition coaching. It's not like people are just going to pay that without you building that relationship first. So understand where social media fits in so that you can build a wildly successful business and, most importantly, help more people. All right, as promised, I'm so excited to announce some updates with our Healthy Steps Nutrition live workshop. We have some amazing sponsors already lined up for this event. Push Press is co-hosting a welcome reception on Friday. It is going to be so much fun. We are actually hosting a panel discussion on storytelling, which is really important when you think about social media, from StoryBrand certified guides. They're going to be a few StoryBrand certified guides in a panel, and we're going to be talking about how to leverage stories in your social media, email, on your website to build awareness about your program and help people understand how you can help them through a habit-based coaching program. This live workshop is honestly a dream come true. I had been going to CrossFit HQ for years, going to their DDC meetings, these medical meetups with doctors and chiropractors, physical therapists, many different types of professions. We would all come together. There would be different speakers related to nutrition, health, wellness, and we would all talk. I left inspired. I left learning something, always taking action. There were very few gym owners that would attend these events. People like Craig Howard, who's been around forever, CrossFit Diablo. You might know him because he has a huge sign in front of his building saying "We cure diabetes," which honestly, when you combine nutrition, fitness, accountability, yes, of course, you can prevent and reverse chronic disease. So we are so excited to bring this format to gym owners and coaches who are passionate about changing people's lives through a holistic approach. We have already sold many of the tickets for this event. It will sell out because we are only opening 200 spots. If you want to lock in your spot, all you need to do is click the link in the show notes and you'll be able to purchase your ticket. We are so excited about this event, and I hope to meet you in person, give you a hug, and share all of the knowledge that we have about building a habit-based coaching program inside a gym, using a holistic approach, and bringing in some of the most amazing experts that I know to share their knowledge with gym owners and coaches. So we hope to see you there. Hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and we'll see you back here next week.